Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Well, it's safe to say that fear is back in crypto markets. XRP dropped as low as 51 cents just this afternoon. Bitcoin dropped as low as the $57,000, and some analysts think that there's reason to believe that we actually haven't seen the worst yet. It actually could dip a bit lower, though I don't say that to scare you. In fact, even the analysts that are saying, hey, we might see lower, there's a reasonable chance, they're still saying, yeah, but we're going to bounce from a key support level in all likelihood, and we are going to continue on with this bull run and ultimately smash into new all-time highs. So it's really not that scary. I'm going to share with you what's being stated here, but XRP, getting to this level, like, if you've been watching some of my videos, hopefully you're not caught off guard by this, because I warned you. I said there are a lot of analysts that are all calling for about the same thing for XRP. And I said this when XRP was 63 to 65 cents. I highlighted perspective from multiple chart analysts saying, hey, this thing doesn't go up in a straight line forever. You could see a correction into the lower 50-cent region, maybe even upper 40-something cent range. And here we are. But it shouldn't, so that's why I'm saying, you shouldn't be scared by this. And it's just the case that when I see that many analysts saying about the same thing is probable, most of the time, the thing that they're saying is probable, if it's a ton of them saying it, from what I've seen over the years, is it's probably going to happen. And so this hasn't surprised me at all, but it doesn't change the big picture, which is the good news. But before going any further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice. And you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. As I record this video, it is 6:50 p.m. Central Time, Sunday, August 4th, 2024. XRP is 52 cents. Bitcoin is 58,357 bucks. Look at this 24-hour chart for XRP, though. And now here's the 24-hour chart for Bitcoin. They look the same damn, they look like the same damn thing. So XRP's back to behaving like the good old XRP we've come to know and love, just following along with the rest of the market. So it was fun throughout July. Very frequently XRP was bucking the trend. If the market was going down, XRP's like, nah, I'm going to go up, or just move sideways even as the rest of the market was going down. But as I noted, and this, look, I'm not an analyst, it's just common sense. Like it's a fact that most of the time, XRP will still move with the rest of the market, so it's fun when it doesn't and it moves to the upside, but that's not a forever thing. Now, I still do think we're going to see it again at some point in the not-too-distant future. If we're going to see a proper alt season, XRP will go back to bucking the trend and blasting off into new all-time high and melting faces. That would be my expectation again, as long as we're going to have an actual proper alt season. As long as there's no black swan event. But people are fearful. Here's the Crypto Fear and Greed Index at 34 out of 100, not surprisingly. And this is a good post from Nick, Crypto Crusader, kind of highlighting the shift in sentiment. He said, it seems like overnight, this market went from everyone believing that the US was going to announce Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset, and we were going to be rich, to now a recession is here, and we are going to apply for a job at McDonald's. So it's funny how quickly things shift. And yeah, and so I certainly never bought into this, Bitcoin strategic reserve narrative. Specifically, what I mean by that is what was announced, or what was rumored to occur at the Bitcoin conference before it occurred was that, Trump was going to announce that Bitcoin he'd be pushing for Bitcoin to be used as a United States key reserve, and that didn't happen. Which isn't surprising in the least here, but the point is, all the positivity, now we're on the flip side of that, gotta go work at McDonald's, which is kind of comical to me, but this always happens. But should we actually be fearful? Well, historic data says no, this is not a time to be fearful. Here's a post from chart analyst Mustache, hashtag altcoins. And he's showing the others chart, so others priced against Bitcoin here, and the others chart is all of the altcoins that are outside of the top 10. So it's every single cryptocurrency that's outside of the top 10 coins by market cap. And this is dating back to the end part of 2015, actually. And so we wrote the following. I think the bottom for altcoins should be in here. Think about that. The better RSI gives a red signal, weekly chart. This has only happened 6 times in 8.5 years, and 5 out of the 6 times it has marked the bottom for altcoins. And you can see that he's highlighted in circle where it is in terms of price action, and you can see the RSI, Relative Strength Index, here on the bottom. He's just noting this is another one of those moments. Unless this time's going to be different, almost every single time this has ever occurred for the last 8.5 years, this has marked the bottom. So reversal most probable. That's clearly what his perspective is. Here's a post from Dr. Magic, Bitcoin, global liquidity. So he says, boxes are major supply zones turned into demand zones on the way up. You can call for market tops all you want. Charts say otherwise. And yeah, you saw it right. Bitcoin is behaving like 2017. And so this is the type of sentiment that I see from all of the analysts that I follow. Nobody that I follow, that I've seen anyway, thinks like the bull market's over or anything like that. Just like, yeah, okay, well, a little bit of a correction, kind of normal. Many of them called for it. And here we are. Including Credible Crypto, by the way, he was warning about this. And so somebody wrote to him and said, with today's drop, both in Bitcoin sub $58,000 and ETH sub $2,700, we should be at the peak of this downturn, right? Fair enough question. And here's what Credible Crypto had to say. By the way, since he's mentioning ETH here, I'll just note that ETH is a little under $2,700 at the time that I'm recording this. And so Credible Crypto wrote the following. Yep, Bitcoin and ETH have both now hit my minimum downside targets. As shared in previous charts, the ETH minimum downside target was sub $2,800. From here, down to $2,200 is a major higher time frame area of demand on ETH. My expectation is that our bottom on ETH is found somewhere within this range. Now with Bitcoin, it's not as easy/clear as higher time frame demand rests just below our last local lows at $53,000, and so I can't rule out a potential lower low into that higher time frame demand zone just yet. So for now, I'd only personally be interested in dollar cost averaging spot in this range until we can get clearer signs of a reversal. So he's just warning, it's a possibility, but could be moving to the downside. So he doesn't seem to have the strongest conviction one way or another. Maybe we actually do just to get the hell out of here now that Bitcoin's dipped to the degree that it has. But just another warning, it could get a little bit worse, he says, with Bitcoin specifically, before things start to turn around. Now, chart analyst Crypto Insight UK, he actually reposted that from Credible Crypto, and he agrees. He wrote, I am in very close alignment with Cred. I also want to reiterate, once this correction is done, we are looking for all-time highs. And again, that's why I said at the outset, it doesn't make sense to be fearful here. That's the perspective that I see from pretty much every chart analyst under the sun that I follow. It doesn't go, even in bull markets, you see major corrections, doesn't go up in a straight line forever, not the end of the world. Here's another post from Crypto Insight UK. XRP tags my area of interest and sees a reactionary bounce. This is a good first step. I would like to see us move a bit further into the box. I'll be looking for a slowdown, increasing in volume, people accumulating, and then bullish divergences before an impulsive next leg. Yeah, so I'll note that Crypto Insight UK, to his credit, is one of the people that was warning for exactly what has unfolded. And he said before this unfolded, understand that that would be a likely bottom. So the range we're in now, roughly speaking, it could still go a little bit lower, but he's like, that would likely be the bottom, and then we would ultimately rocket on out of there. So I'm not surprised by this in the least. I saw too many analysts calling for roughly the same thing in the short term for XRP. This isn't scary. It just doesn't go up in a straight line for him. Yeah, everything's fine here. And so you can see what he's talking when he referenced, if we see a move further into the box, for those of you not looking at the screen, I'll just mention he's highlighted roughly, say, 46 to 52 cents. So could go a little bit lower, but either way, the fact that it's moved in this direction to this degree isn't surprising. And it was led by a market-wide, like it wasn't just a unique XRP thing, it's the whole market went down. And the last couple of days, of course, even equities weren't doing so hot. Everything was going down in tandem, because risk assets typically get treated, on the whole, about the same, just generally speaking. Here's a post from chart analyst Dark Defender. XRP closed July with a powerful bullish candle signaling a thrilling end to 2024. Maintaining above 52.86 cents, the critical last Fibonacci support line is essential for continued momentum. So I'll pause to remind you, that's actually price-wise about where we are right now. Yes, it dipped into the upper 51 cent region. You can see the 24-hour low, 51.9 cents for XRP. So very short-lived, though, so I don't know that it matters. I don't think he'd say that would invalidate his perspective here. It was like a 5-second thing that it was quite that low, and then it jumped a little bit up. And then he says 66.49 cent level posed a formidable Fibonacci resistance, but the tight gap between support and resistance hints at an impending explosive breakout. So again, nothing changes big picture. On a higher time frame, this thing's still going to go. Nobody that I've seen, none of the analysts I follow, have changed their perspective. Here's another post from Nick Crypto Crusader. I wouldn't mind if XRP took the liquidity from the recent high and the 70-cent range before filling that fair value gap around 44 to 51 cents. And I'll pause to note that this is a post from July 21st, which I did share at the time. And then he says, RSI and stochastic RSI are both nearing an area where I would start to become cautious. Let's see what happens this week, but I wouldn't be overly bullish until we close above 75 cents on the daily. And so there you can see from July 21st, this is yet another analyst who was warning, yeah, you could see the pretty notable drop from that point. All sorts of analysts were calling for this. So not exactly surprised that this has happened. And then he reposted that just this morning. And he said, took some time, but it looks like XRP is finally going to be targeting the fair value gap I warned about when the entire timeline was peak bullish. And this is the level that he was talking about right here. So it's basically where we are. So, are you caught off guard by this? I mean, I guess if you didn't hear the information, then perhaps you are. But if you heard the information, the answer must be no, right? The fact that we're down here, it's not intimidating, right? Here's a post from ChartingGuy, and he says, in my opinion, Doge and XRP are likely your best risk-reward in crypto right now. Yet people refer to these as S-word coins, LOL. This is because they underperform for the first 75% every cycle, and then when Bitcoin breaks into price discovery and alt season really kicks off, these two outperform. Yeah, and so there's certainly historic precedent indicating as much. So yes, that is indeed correct. But just, the fact that XRP has been consolidating for a good 6.5 years since its last all-time high, it's got the legal clarity. Yeah, I'll not be surprised if XRP is among the best of performers this market cycle. I won't be surprised in the least. And there's this article, I'm not going to read through this, but I wanted to mention it. From the Crypto Basic, here is how high XRP price will go if its market cap reaches $1 trillion. $1 trillion. Of course, at the time I'm recording this, the market cap is 29.36 billion with a B. So a far cry from that, right? Now, if you're talking about $1 trillion market cap based on the circulating supply of about 56 billion, that would be a price per XRP of about $18. Now, I don't make price predictions. I don't know where XRP price is going to go. I'm just telling you that straight up. I don't think it's crazy to suppose that it's at least possible it could get that high. I'm not necessarily counting on this market cycle, but it's not crazy at all. Especially if Bitcoin really does hit what if it really does hit what many analysts think, somewhere even approaching $150,000. That would be a peak market cap this cycle for Bitcoin of about $3 trillion if it hits $150,000 per coin, if it does. And there's no guarantee it will. But then XRP having a peak market cap of 1 trillion, is that plausible? Yeah, I mean, there's historic precedent for this. I was actually talking about this concept in a video the other day. Because in 2017, if you compare XRP's peak market cap to Bitcoin's peak market cap, XRP's peak market cap was about 37% of Bitcoin's for that 2017 bull run. So if you're talking about anywhere around there, yeah, XRP hitting over $1 trillion if Bitcoin goes that high, there is precedent for that. And it'll be short-lived, of course. Once you hit the peak, I mean, bubble pops and you know what happens. But that would be cool. So the point is, it's not crazy to think, for anybody that thinks XRP is going to hit about $18 this market cycle, again, I'm not predicting it, and I'm somewhat skeptical it's quite going to go that high, but I acknowledge that it's absolutely possible, for sure. So a lot of excitement ahead. The best is yet ahead of us. I still firmly believe that. So anyway, I want to share with you some of my thoughts and perspective from various chart analysts. But if you were feeling a bit fearful today, hopefully this video helped, because I just don't think it makes sense to be fearful here, right? And I'm not advising you to buy or sell or hold. You do whatever you want. I don't know what's right for you on a personal level. But in terms of, is this a time to actually be scared, even though, I'd say even though most of the market is, or many in the market are, I don't think that makes logical sense. This is just a really volatile asset class. Everything fine. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.